A day in the life of an emergency room physician. There's a moment every ER physician knows too well. That split second before the hospital doors slide open, when the world is quiet, and you can feel the weight of hundreds of lives waiting behind the glass. No matter how long you've worked in emergency medicine, 5 years, 10 years, a lifetime, that moment never gets lighter. It becomes a part of you, a pulse under the skin. A whisper reminding you that anything, absolutely anything, can happen today. Emergency Room Physician Day begins long before sunrise. Not because I want it to, but because the mind learns to wake itself before the emergencies do. A quick shower, cold water to shock the body awake, hot water to comfort the parts of me that still remember yesterday's chaos. A silent breakfast, nothing fancy, and then the drive to the hospital. A drive where your thoughts wander to people you've treated, people you couldn't save, people you're still hoping will walk out of those ICU doors smiling again. When he push open the entrance, the hospital greets me not like a workplace, but like a battlefield waiting for its general. The ER isn't awake, it never sleeps. The shift begins first stop, the handoff. The night physician looks exhausted, deep circles under the eyes, coffee in hand, voice low and monotone. We exchange a nod, a silent passing of the torch. He briefs me. A stroke patient in room 4. A teenager with abdominal pain waiting for imaging. A heart failure patient stabilizing. A trauma case that might need to be moved to surgery. And the waiting room, full, as always. He places a hand on my shoulder before he leaves. Not out of friendship, but out of respect. Because only another ER physician understands what it means to face the next 12 hours alone. The first emergency hits. Barely 3 minutes into my shift, the overhead speaker blares, "Code trauma, incoming." In this line of work, you don't walk toward trauma, you run. We rush to the bay as the doors swing open and paramedics push in a stretcher. A middle-aged man, barely conscious, breathing like every breath is a battle. Car accident. Unstable vitals, internal bleeding suspected. The team surrounds him. Nurses, respiratory techs, trauma surgeons on standby. I slide into the controlled chaos like I'm stepping into a storm I've learned to navigate by instinct. Blood pressure, dropping. Airway, struggling. Pulse, faint. I take over airway management. The nurse hands me what I need without me asking. We've done this dance many times. Within seconds, the room becomes a blur. Hands moving, machines beeping, monitors flashing red, and then a flatline tone. I feel it hit me in the chest. Starting compressions. The team doesn't panic. In the ER, panic is a luxury we cannot afford. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Finally, a flicker on the monitor, a heartbeat, weak, but there. He's rushed to the OR. And just like that, the team resets. No celebration, no sigh of relief, just a quiet moment of acknowledgement that someone out there still has a chance. The emotional collisions. People think being an ER doctor is all adrenaline and action. But it's the quiet moments that break you. A young mother comes in holding her child. The child's fever is high. The mother is shaking, crying, terrified. I crouch beside her, speak softly, explain everything step by step until I see her breathing slow. Moments like that remind me, medicine isn't just science. It's human connection, it's reassurance, it's presence. Then there are moments that carve themselves into your memory. A patient looking into your eyes as they ask, "Am I going to be okay?" And you know the truth, but you also know they deserve hope. A family waiting for an update in that cold, bright hallway. You walk toward them, and your footsteps sound too loud. They look up at you with eyes begging for good news. Some days, you get to smile and say, "They pulled through." Other days, you don't. And those are the moments you carry with you, long after your shift ends. The mental battle hours roll by, and exhaustion settles in your shoulders like sandbags. ER physicians don't get to pace themselves. We don't get breaks when we're tired. We don't get slow days. Everything is urgent. Everything matters. You drink cold coffee because you never had time to sip it warm. You eat in 3 bites because another alarm goes off just as you start chewing. And no matter how strong you try to be, the pressure builds. You walk from room to room, switching emotions like gears. Compassion, urgency, authority, comfort, intensity, control, gentleness. You leave one patient crying, enter the next room smiling, then rush to the trauma bay with adrenaline pumping through your veins. It's not just multitasking, it's emotional shape-shifting on a minute-to-minute basis. An unexpected lull. Every shift has a rare moment when the noise softens and the pace slows. Just for a minute. You look around the ER, the empty hallway, the quiet monitors, the nurses finally sitting for a breath. You wonder how long it will last. 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and then the radio crackles. A heart attack en route, 5 minutes out. The storm returns. When the humanity hits you, late in the shift, I treat an elderly man, confused, weak, barely responsive. We stabilize him, and as I prepare his transfer to a higher level of care, he opens his eyes for a moment. He grips my wrist, not hard, just firmly enough, and whispers, "Thank you, doctor." 2 simple words, but they sank deep. Because in a place filled with noise and chaos, simple human gratitude breaks through like sunlight. The final stretch. The last 2 hours of an ER shift feel like walking underwater. Every decision hits harder. Every motion feels heavier. But you keep going. Because the people walking in don't know you're tired. They don't know you've gone 12 hours without sitting down. They don't know you've made life or death decisions all day. All they know is that they need you. The final patient is a man with chest pain, tightness, shortness of breath, classic signs. But you never assume. Tests run, monitors up, meds given. His results come back. Early heart attack, caught just in time. He looks at me with fear in his eyes, and I squeeze his shoulder gently as the team prepares him for cardiology. "You came in early," I tell him. "You did the right thing." He nods, tears welling. Sometimes saving a life isn't dramatic. It's small decisions, made at the right time. The shift ends, but the wait stays. When the replacement physician arrives, I give my handoff just like the one I received that morning. Room 4 needs monitoring. Room 8 is waiting on imaging. Room 12 is stabilizing. The new doctor studies my face the same way I studied the night physicians. He sees the fatigue, the 1,000-yard stare, the residue of every emergency etched in the wrinkles around my eyes. We exchange a nod, a silent, "I understand." I step out into the hallway, past the nurses charting, past the families crying, past the patients waiting. And when the hospital doors finally close behind me, the world outside feels strangely quiet. The weight doesn't fall off. It just shifts. You don't leave the ER. You carry it with you, in your thoughts, in your heartbeat, in the memories of the people you fought for. But despite it all, despite the exhaustion, despite the emotional scars that no one sees, there's a truth all ER physicians know. We return tomorrow, not because we have to, but because someone out there will need us again. If you want more powerful, emotional, and real daily life of professionals from the front lines of our world, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and stay with us. More stories are waiting in the shadows.